Hi everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and we're kicking off the new series for 2022, which is Design Team Thursday. Now, I have been a member of Dearjuliejulie design team for a couple of years, and I've done them very loosely. This year, I have a whole new track, new plan in place, cross your fingers, that you will see a design team project every Thursday, unless one of the collabs that I am a part of falls on a Thursday. Collabs will always take precedence on my calendar, but plenty of things to show. If you've been to my channel before, then you know I do a little bit of everything on this channel that has to do with creating, whether it's with paper, inks, mixed media, fabric, whatever, junk journals. But I also do creative budgeting, and I'm a planner babe, so you're going to see a little bit of everything on this channel that falls under that creative umbrella. So if you like what you see, I hope you'll remember to like and share my videos and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, so you'll come back and see what's going on. So Design Team Thursday, I'm kicking off with I have an idea of creating a new personal journal every month. I'm doing a winter blues thing for January. I'm going to be doing Red's Frilly Feminine Love for February. And I'm going to be using Dearjuliejulie Music Roses kit. And I have printed these up on both 32-pound copy paper, and I printed them on cardstock because some of the items, like this envelope, really needs to be on paper and folded, but elements like the calling card or maybe this tag will work better on cardstock. And that's something to think about when you buy digitals and you're not sure what to print them on. Think about how you're going to be using them and determine whether or not you're going to do paper or cardstock for each different page. Now, some of these I have printed off. While this works better as a paper, this image would do better on cardstock. So I'm printing them out on both. And I'll show you another one here in a minute that I'm going to do. So we have this page. And then we have this one. Now again, this one prints out better as to fold an envelope, paper works best. But I've also printed it out on cardstock so I'd have the tags. But I could also cut this out and use just this element in the center of the envelope for an element in the journal as well. So we have these. I want to do her as a layered cardstock chipboard piece. We have this one, and again, I could use the whole envelope of paper, but in cardstock, I could cut this out and give me a wider piece of the music paper to use, and use her as part of the layering. Same with this one here, and the cameo. Then we have some wording here to use on tags and sentiment strips throughout the journal. Smaller images. Now, these images may cut with my Scan and Cut, and I'm going to try them in the future, but right now my work table is buried with the stuff I'm trying to get ready to go in my shop, and I don't have a place to put my Scan and Cut. So anything I use for this journal for now, I'm going to be fussy cutting. The neat thing about it is if it messes up on the Scan and Cut when I go to do it, it's a digital. I can go back and reprint it. Not a problem. Same here. Envelopes fold best with paper, but the tags and maybe using the center points would work best on cardstock. Then all those elements we've already seen get a little bit smaller. Great for mini journals. This one, I love this. I just love this. And I love this big white and pink rose. There is one page here of sentiments. Bicycle built for two, and part of a quote over here. Large bank envelope and tag. So that is her Music and Roses and Music kit, and I will leave the link for that down in the description box below. That is my primary launching pad for this journal. Now, let's talk about the journal. Snowing paper trims over here from a project I was working on yesterday. I have gone to Dollar Tree and I have purchased 12 books, not necessarily the same title, but the same size. And strip the paper covers off, and I'll take the junk out, and this is going to be the cover for each one of my monthly journals. So I've got a blue one that I've been working on for January. I have this one for February. Keep in mind, I'm not always going to find coordinating cover colors, but They lend themselves to painting, decoupaging, collaging on, fabric covering, whatever I want to do with them. So, but I have this pretty red one to use for my February journal. And then I will have 12 journals by the end of the year that are all the same size that will be my personal journaling in. These are not part of the junk journal challenges that Julie does. These are my journals that I can do whatever I want to in them. As little or as much, and use whatever tools and fabrics and items that I have to use. So, have that to play with. My pile over here is getting deceptively, dangerously tilting. Then I have, I'm going to come back to this paper in a minute. I have pulled out some just standard 32-pound weight copy paper. 32-pound is all that I buy because I use it for my planners. And the stuff from Walmart just seems to get cheaper and cheaper by the minute. So then I have these large cake box lining doilies from Wilton's, and you can get these at any cake shop. Walmart oftentimes carries them as well in their cake decorating. So I have those. Get some of the weight off this pile over here before it becomes a timber over here. Okay. Speaking of doilies, I also have these, and I'm going to pull out some other ones when I get to another section, but for now I have these white ones. These are metallic and flat, flip side, retired from Stampin' Up. I have those to use. Then I have the paper doilies from Dollar Tree. Now you can get these in a one-size pack, or you can get them in a multi-sized pack from Dollar Tree. While I'm mentioning Dollar Tree, remember that most Dollar Tree stores now have gone to $1.25. It's just, it was bound to happen. Just bound to happen. Okay, now, this paper here, I'm not going to use a lot of pinks in here, but as you noticed in some of those patterned designs on the digitals, there's splotches of pink. So I'm going to add splotches of pink to some of my writing. Now, I did not have a pink in Angel Spray, in my Angel Mist that I liked, but you can make your own. You just need a spray bottle, three little BBs. Find somebody who has a BB gun and put those in there, and those become your mixers. And then I made this one with metallic rose folk art paint. And you put about this much of paint in your bottle and fill the rest of it up with 80 or 90% isopropyl alcohol. And you can make it as intense or as light as you want by the amount of paint to alcohol ratio, okay? But the ratio I explained, this is the dusting that you're going to get. Okay, it also makes a difference as to whether you spray close to your paper or held it out away from you a good 18 inches. Okay, so there's that. Now, that's probably about the only pink I'm going to add to this, except for these new napkins that I picked up from Hobby Lobby with the red truck against the shiplap background, and we have variated pink hearts in the back. Okay, where do I go next? Dollar Tree. They have their Valentine scarves out. I may or may not use this for a tie. May use it, cut it apart and use it for part of a fabric flip. I'm not sure about the teal, but you know, if I can camouflage that teal by the more reds and pink that I use. Okay, so there's that one. Then we have fabrics. And I have quite a variety of fabrics here. Trying to keep things apart. I have this velvet. This is off the bottom of a little girl's dress with the lace trim. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to trim this up nice and smooth. I could even add another trim to the top of that and decorate that. Where is an option? I have an option here. Here it is. I could go across the top of that with one of these vintage rickracs. And clean that one up. Small pieces are great for putting across the bottom of pockets, top of tags, that kind of thing. I have this. I've gone through my fabric stash and I pulled out a wide variety of fabrics to use. Some not necessarily Valentine, but the colors work. So we have our Valentine hearts. We have this white with the red heart to appear like flowers. We have this small Swiss dot. We have the Swiss dot on more of a vintage red as opposed to the starch red. We have this one, and most of these fabrics are 20 plus years old. I used to go every time Joann's had a sale when we lived in Illinois. I would go to the Joann's Peoria in Peoria when they had really big sales like Black Friday or that kind of thing, and I would buy 1/8 of a yard of all kinds of fabrics. So I have 1/8 of a yard, and they measure out to be about 4.5 inches wide. So there was those. There's this red with the white hearts. I love this one. And this one. And you can see there's a variety of reds here that I can pick from. Then there's this one. I have a larger piece of this with the Cupid. And what I'm going to do, these are all going to be part of the February love kits that are going to go into my shop. And I will try to make sure that every kit has a section that has at least one Cupid in those kits. And then I have this white with the gold. And you'll see why I'm using the gold here in a minute, why I'm pulling that one in. So those are my fabrics. Then I have laces and trims. Let's do trims first so I can put them back over here out of my way. We saw the vintage rickrack. I have some wire-edged ribbon. And if you think that you can't use wire-edged ribbon in a journal, let me show you a trick. I don't know if this one's going to do it. I think this one's just stiff. But there it is. So the wire-edged ribbons, you can go through and you can pull that wire out of your trim, and then you just have a flat lace, a flat ribbon to work with. Or you can gather it up and give yourself pleats to work with. So you can use your wire-edged ribbon from like the holiday stuff in 3 different ways. So that's handy. Then I have this wide one. And this one and another one I'm going to come back to in a minute, so let me lay it aside. I have regular grosgrain ribbon, or satin ribbon. Some have trims. This is a 1/4 inch. I think this is an 1/8 inch. And then we have one that doesn't have any edges to it. Then we have these soft, fun fibers. Aren't these going to be wonderful in a tassel? And look at this one. I just love those. I love adding different textures to a journal. This one we have the satin rope. We have the twisted rope or braiding. We have soft red yarn. This one's more flat. And then there's this one with the hint of pink and purple. This one is definitely a Valentine fiber. And I will try to put fibers, as many of them as I can, at least 12 to 18 inches of fiber in each of the kits. The fibers may vary from kit to kit, so keep that in mind. Okay, then we have these. This one is a red velvet in a couple of different widths. Okay, and then I have this one, which is a Christmas ribbon. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now the reason I'm showing you that is I have this lace. This lace makes the best lace to put along a spine or to line a book. See if I can pull mine out of the stack here really quick. But look at that along a book edge. Isn't that pretty? Or to put it on your spine and let it just wrap around both sides. And just a hint of it on the sides. You can also cut this ribbon in medallions this way and have individual medallions. I want to try cutting a length on either side of the circle medallion and just having the circle medallion in my tassel. You could also cut down through the center of that center medallion and have 2 separate border trims. But look how it lays against that red lace, or that red ribbon, or against the velvet ribbon. So many things to play with. Just get your stuff out and play. And that's one of the reasons I decided I was doing these personal journals this year, because I want to play with the things that I have without restrictions. And I love the challenges. Don't get me wrong. I love the challenges. But I also want to be able to use the things that I have in my studio without any restrictions. So I have these. That one didn't have. This one had a pin in it, and I will put it back later. I think it's getting hungry. So I have those fibers. You saw this lace. I have this rose lace buried here. And I can use that sparingly. It's got a little bit of green in it, but it's got a little bit of pink, a little bit of the red. I have this lace. And while I have it in white, I want to try dyeing some in red with either my red inks or some red food coloring. That's one of my projects for today. So I have that. Okay. If I don't put the pin in it, A, I'll lose the pin and stick myself with it later, and B, I'll have lace everywhere. Okay, then I have this little piece, not a lot, but I'm going to show you where this piece came, one similar to this came from here in a minute. And it only measures about 9 inches long, but that's okay. That's plenty to put along the edge of a tag or a pocket. But I have these. And you can see they're wound along around this bobbin card that I made out of just a piece of foam core. And they measure, I think, 10 inches. What did I do with my ruler? Oh, 11.5 inches. And what these are bands from a box of invitations, to put that around the invitation. God, I cannot talk this morning. The neat thing with these is I bought the box on clearance at Hobby Lobby. So I have a bunch of these because I think the invitations came in boxes of 50, maybe. Then I have this red gathered lace, this ruffle lace. And again, ruffled lace, anytime you can buy ruffled lace, even if you don't think you'll use it as a ruffle, it's going to cost you the same in 3 yards of this as it does in 3 yards of a flat lace, probably. But buy the ruffled, go through and take the stitching out, and you can separate that. I can't do it with here on camera just now, and I'll do it when I play maybe with an item later. But you can take that apart, and then your lace is flat, and you gain about 50% more of length of your ribbon when you do that, of your lace when you do that. So anytime you can buy the ruffle, if you've got a choice between the same pattern in a ruffled lace or a flat lace, take the time to buy the ruffled lace and take it apart, and you'll get 50% more for your money. Okay, I have two more pieces here. First of all, I have these hair scrunchies that I bought from Dollar Tree last year that have the ribbons on them and the hearts. So those are going to be good to play with. And then I have this. This is an applique from off of a dress that I bought at a thrift store about 1.5 years ago, and I have yet to take it apart. And I'm going to be taking it apart. Every one of the February Love Kits is going to include a piece of this applique. Probably something at least that size. Okay, so it'll probably be close to 6.5 inches at its longest point, and by 4. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, then I have, let me get the fibers out of my way here, because I need the table room to show you what I have next. Okay, before I get those in the way, let's go to this. These are retired Stampin' Up sets and a current Stampin' Up set. This one is Bloomin' Love. Both of these have coordinating dies. Okay, so this one has this filigree heart. Love that. Okay, and then Sealed with Love comes with 2 different sizes of envelopes. This envelope has the flap liner, and it also has 2 different sizes of note cards that can fit in there. Oh, and this one does have a liner too as well. Then you've got this intricate little border here. You've got arrows, hearts, lots of things to play with in that one. I have this set, which is current from Stampin' Up. It's in our Celebrations catalog. It's called Sweet Conversations. and it has the X's and O's, open hearts, solid hearts, and ones with conversations. You're cute, text me, love you, hug me, and BFF. And then you've got sentiments as well. So I love this set to work with. And then I have one more stamp that now I have more. They're just buried. They're just buried till I can get, I haven't filed a lot of the most recent stamps I bought because I need to reorganize my stamps, and I'm going to recatalog everything, and I'm going to take everything out of the cases and put them in sleeves, and it's going to be a task. So still have that I want to get done. But I have this one from Inkadinkado, and it has this large Love 2 cent stamp. February cancellation, postage, script, and this solid one. And I think, I'm going to measure, but I think this stamp I just noticed is the same size as our postage stamp punch from Stampin' Up. And if so, I guess I'm going to have to order that punch. So, there's that. Okay, elements, embellishments. Have this new one from Very Type of Hearts from Dollar Tree in their Valentine section. I have red, and I also have white safety pins. The white ones are in with my blue journal right now. And then I have, those of you who don't know, I have a stamp rack, which means I have a wide variety of elements to play with. So with this one, I'm going to try and keep everything in frame as best I can, because this is 12 by 12 pages full of embellishments, okay? So I have heart charms, heart buttons, heart bling. I showed this one in the first video that I had to delete. I'll come back to that one. We have some mother of pearl style buttons here that would work. Silver vintage. And we have gold hearts, brads, eyelets, bling. I have lip confetti. I have all kinds of punch outs and stickers, love seals there. Cupids. I love this one for a vintage. Love banners for scrapbooking. Those are from Creating Keepsakes. I have these vellum hearts from Heidi Swap. So I have a whole bunch of those in all different sizes. More ribbons and laces that I can use and fibers. I have this red with the white through it. I have kind of a very soft pink with white. I have Happy Valentine's Day, the white with the red through it, which is the reverse of this one. The heart and the bears, and the bear t-shirt spells out love. I have all kinds of rub-ons. I have stickers. Valentine stickers, swag buttons, vellum quotes. I have heart-shaped doilies from Stampin' Up. I have regular heart-shaped doilies from the Party Center. I have some here, and they're called from a company called Royal Lace, and I have these also that are a little bit bigger. Great for layering. I have lots of stuff to play with. And then there's this fabric as well as the one I showed you in the bigger. And then there's more conversation hearts. So as you can see, I have a lot to offer in this journal. So today was about showing you, oh, and one more thing. Paint chips galore. I don't have a lot of reds in here. This box only came with a couple of reds, which was Showstopper and Antique Red. These are the HGTV color swatches from a couple of years ago. Their Snowbound is a really good white. Marshmallow is another good one. Eider White. So I've got paint chips to use for tags as well. Not to mention my cardstocks. I don't want to use any other patterned papers except for what's in the kit. So that will take care of that. Okay. Oh, one more stack. I told you, I've got it sitting everywhere. I have papers from Stampin' Up. I have a gold metallic from Dollar Tree. Then I have red velvet paper, dazzling diamonds, and our red glitter. And I don't think any of these are current. If they are, I will link them down below so you'll have that information. And then I have, I think that's it. I think that's it for this. So, Design Team Thursdays for the next couple, 3 Thursdays, I'm going to be putting the February journal together. At some point, I hope to come back and show you a flip through of my January journal. Though it will not be a Design Team Thursday. I'm going to be using a different digital for that, or digital or scrapbook paper for that one. I think it's going to be probably a Stampin' Up video, actually, for Stampin' Up Sunday. But tomorrow, Friday tutorial, we are going to be working with the Stampin' Mixed Media Art cream paste and mold, as well as, let me see if I can lay this one against the color so you can see it a little bit better, as well as a couple of other techniques to use for this. So I'll be showing that one, and here's a sample of what I've already molded. Now, I'll tell you why this happened in the video tomorrow and how to prevent that from happening. So, that is tomorrow's tutorial for Friday. Saturday, I am in here with Shop Saturday. I knew there was a word, I just couldn't, my head is just not letting me think. Shop Saturday, where I will hopefully be showing you the blue kits that are going into my shop in the next few days. It's called Winter Blues. And then Sunday is Stampin' Up Sunday. We are going to be using Sweet Conversations and Awesome Otters, both of which are in our current catalog to make children's Valentine cards. And that'll take us back up to Monday, where I'm not sure what we're doing. I'll have that figured out by Monday. So that's it for me in here today. Thanks for joining me for Design Team Thursday. Remember to check out Julie's channel down below, as well as go check out this digital and others that she has in her shop. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and as always, creative blessings.